there? I apologize.
Yeah, no worries. So we signed a deal with Golden Harvest, which is the operating entity of Grown Rogue, which gives us access to the Michigan market. Obviously, the Michigan market is the biggest and most profitable state in the U.S. from a new entrance into the recreational space. So they did, I think, $170 million in sales in the last month that they reported. Just to give you a volume size, so like run rate, that's going to be more than all of Canada. So from one state. Yeah, they use a lot of products in Michigan. Yeah, it's great.
$170 million.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy number, and that's just starting.
Huge.
Yeah, it's a crazy number, which is why we picked Michigan. We've been working on this with Golden Harvest for about a year and a half now. So trying to structure this. So right when we started, we wanted to have access to the U.S. market. That's why we listed on the CSC also originally, so we could do deals like this and it wouldn't violate any of our listing issues. So with that, we'll be putting product of pure chews, pure pulls will be in store in Michigan. So we'll set up our production facility. We've been working with the engineers and whatnot to get our equipment shipped from BC up to Michigan. So that'll start crossing the border shortly. And then we'll be in production about 90 to 120 days. We should be in production for that. We'll be producing the pure pulse, pure chews, plus the Golden Harvest, the Grown Rogue product, and we'll be using their sales force, so we don't have to go educate a sales force and have relationships with the dispensaries. They already have that. They're in over 100 stores already out of the 400, and then we have some distribution through another 200 stores. So we should be able to hit 300 stores pretty easily within the year of penetration through retail sales. So we'll be producing both our products, Golden Harvest, Grown Rogue product, and then we'll be doing white label products for other producers that don't have the ability to produce extracted products. And if you look at the sales so far in Michigan, about half, a little more than half, is actually extracted products. So they're already making the shift from flower to extracted products. So we're pretty excited about that. We should be pretty strong right out of the chute. And the way it looks like, most of the dispensaries run out of product pretty quickly when they ship. So we think we've picked a great state to start off in. And if this goes the way we think it is, we'll be expanding in the similar model with other partners into the southern states.
Wow, that's fantastic. So what does this mean for your company? Like what type of revenue are you expecting based on this joint venture?
Well, if you look at the market of what they're selling in our core business, gummy and vapes, that's about 40 to 50% of the revenue base per month. If we can capture 0.5% of that, we're talking, $3, $4, $5 million of revenue eventually. So we're estimating pretty low that we'll start off like $1 million to $2 million once we get into run rate. So I think $1 million is pretty low, to be honest with you, a month as we ramp up. Sales are going to be pretty robust from what we see. Gummies sell out, by the time they're shipped. So we're in four provinces now, as you know, for Ontario, BC, Alberta, and Saskatchewan, and our gummy and vape product is selling very well. So we don't believe that there should be any difference in the U.S. to Canada. So we think we can crush it. So we're not giving any guidance yet, but if we just look at the market itself, we think we can penetrate quite well, and not having to educate a new sales force and make those relationships with the dispensary, because it's a direct model in the U.S. where we sell directly to the dispensaries. They already know all these people, so through our 2 distribution partners. So we're pretty excited about that, and we'll definitely do some white labeling and the core extraction for other parties that need oil products. So that'll kind of round us out within the Michigan market.
Wow, I have a question from Jeffrey Lutz. He likes to know how the Fireball gummies are selling.
Selling really well. We're really happy with the way they're selling. The product is fantastic, both from its flavor profile and a packaging profile. What we thought in the dispensary is coming true from a consumer perspective. They love the proprietary packaging in the blister pack. It's actually what's propelling that product. To the flavor profile, obviously, in cinnamon Fireball. Everybody likes it. We've all taken a shot of Fireball, I'm sure, back in the day. So that brings back some memories. And the packaging in that blister pack, slip it in your jeans pocket, doesn't go all over you, doesn't go clumped together like the little baggies of product that you get in some of the other manufacturers. So it's been really strong, and you'll see our CBD product is going to be hitting the market shortly, also in a couple different flavors. So that's actually gotten some really good traction from the provinces wanting to order that in for September.
I have another question from Tony. He says, I tuned in late and wonder what stores and what cities in Michigan you're going to sell through. Gage is huge in Michigan.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, Bruce's Gauge will be one of the partners that we'll be dealing with. I can't tell you the locations yet because we just signed our definitive, so we're just going to the retail outlets. We'll be at 100 stores. Golden Harvest is in 100 stores today with their flower product. Every one of those partners will take the extracted product. We would think they're asking us for it. So if that caller, or if you call them that on YouTube, emails us at info@PureXtractsCorp.com, we'll get back to you with the locations that they're in.
Okay, fantastic. I also have a couple questions myself.
Sure.
Let's discuss the Michigan market. When entering the Michigan market, what does it mean for Pure, and what will we be producing there? What will Pure be producing in Michigan?
Sure. So what it means is we transform the company into a multi-geography company. We're both in Canada and the US. MSO valuations are much higher than they are in Canada. If we look at Gage or Red, White, and Bloom, their market caps are $200 million plus. We're kind of we're gauged as a Canadian-only company play. This gives us obviously access to one of the biggest states per revenue in the United States. So it means, we'll be reevaluated for where we are. We're not going to continue to trade. We've doubled in the last, month and a half. We're still very economical, and the buying has been definitely coming in from the US, knowing, if we get this sign, which we did, from an MSO perspective, the best state to be in from a revenue and profitability perspective, because margins are still really good in Michigan. And two, having the expertise coming from Canada and the brands that we're developing that we've used in the Canadian dispensaries have already been tested. So we don't need to stub our toe in products that don't sell in Michigan. We will know what sells because we're already selling it in the Canadian market. So it means, our market cap, should, definitely go north of where we are. Don't have a crystal ball, but when I look at my peer group, we're still severely undervalued in comparison.
Yeah, and that's what I have been telling and letting everybody know, that I feel like you guys have every single box checked of an early stage company, with the only exception being the share price is lagging with everything else that is happening. You guys are growing, you're growing your revenues, you're expanding, you're in the psychedelics and cannabis space, two very fast growing industries,
Yep.
and you've got a tight share structure with growing revenue. So everything we look for an undervalued, underappreciated, underexposed company. And the only thing lacking is the share price, which really is to the advantage of an investor. A long-term patient investor could see huge price appreciation if they're willing to invest and hold and wait for the company to grow. And in saying that, can you give us an update on your Canadian sales?
Sure. So as I said, we're in 4 provinces now. So we're in Ontario, BC, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. We've also listed on ABBA Medica's medical platform that deals with the veterans, fulfilling cannabis requirements to the vets, which is very important to us because of our product. They're high volume users, and they need very potent and long onset products like our vape products. They buy our vape and gummy products. So they chose us because of our qualities of the vapes that are long lasting, because they have some obviously PTSD and some other issues. We're going to give some guidance after we get our run rate into 4Q. We've received repeats from the provinces already, so the sell through from the product has been quite nice, and the orders have been in the 6-digit initial load in amount. So we're quite pleased with that, and getting a listing in Ontario, products hitting the shelves, I think on the 27th in Ontario. As you know, they close their product calls for new LPs listing in Ontario, and they said, if anybody's not listed already, the next product call won't be until 2022, so they have to wait, 6 to 9 months for a product call. We were lucky enough to be selected for some of our products in this year. We're obviously in August, so we're continuing on and building our experience in Ontario. So we're pretty happy that we were selected for that, because obviously Ontario, although it was a slow growing market, now it's obviously picking up steam with over 400 stores in the province.
If there was anything you wanted to share with investors, someone that's new to Pull, someone that's new to Pure Extracts, or someone that's an existing shareholder today, if there was any information or any advice or anything you want to say, what would that be?
It would be just watch us. We said we were going to execute in Michigan. They thought we could never get it done in the hottest growing state in the United States to be an MSO. Nobody thought that we could be listed in 4 provinces. We're listed in 4 provinces. When we said the share price was undervalued, when I was on the show at 23 cents, a lot of my core investors came to me and said, I'm taking big positions. I believe in the company. We believe in the management team. We know what we're doing. This isn't our first cannabis company, and we're going to continue to grow the business. We're here to grow revenues. We're here to build a solid business, and I think the investors will recognize we're an execution business. This is something that we've done before. And my management team is all about booking revenue and expanding our footprints. Now, being a multinational, being in Canada and the US, we're severely undervalued in comparison to our peer group. And I still think there's significant upside, and we can see by the amount of appreciation, the accumulation that's going around at around 40 cents. We're not having any slippage, right? So people are accumulating the stock. They're long term on us. We're executing, and I think we're have enough staying power both in the cannabis area. We're in the psychedelics. We're moving forward with our trials. Our functional mushrooms are selling nicely on Amazon. So we have multi-tier revenue sources that most companies of our size don't. So we're pretty happy with our structure.
What do you think about Biden? He essentially became the president with a huge cannabis mandate.
Yeah.
And since he's been president, there's been nothing. So is there something I'm missing? Is there like a disconnect? Everyone said Biden was going to be positive for cannabis. And to be honest with you, since he's become president, cannabis has really lost steam. So is there something coming? Like, is there going to be a catalyst? Because I'm talking about the biggest companies in the world, like the Trulies are struggling. The Canopy Growths, the Tilrays, that they're just not getting any interest, despite the fact that they're producing enormous revenues. Curaleaf just reported enormous revenues, and the stock goes down. So what do you think it's going to take to get the momentum back? Or is it just because it was summertime, and are we on the verge of another bounce back here? Because typically cannabis does do well in the fall. That's typically when it does its big move, is between September and February. Are we set up right now? I mean, it looks like we're set up. Are we set up for another resurrection right now? What do you think?
Yeah. Cannabis is very cyclical. We've seen this now for a number of years. For whatever reason, cannabis trades extremely well September to February. I don't know if it's the traders are all in Muskoka or whatnot, but it is what it is. Tilray made a major acquisition on accumulating the debentures for MedMen a couple days ago.
Yes. Yes.
So they're not spending $200 million because they think Biden's not going to convert this into a federally legalized product. There is chatter obviously that they're working on a cannabis bill to legalize this federally. So I think the reality is we're gonna obviously there's some bigger issues that they're trying to deal with at the same time. Obviously COVID and Afghanistan and whatnot are two major issues that the Biden administration I'm sure is dealing with. But cannabis I know is on their radar screen, and I know that they are working on bringing something forward that will make it federally legal. So Tilray is slash Africa is way more dialed in than I am. From a federally U.S. factor, Tilray is very strong from a U.S. Administration perspective. So they don't inject that kind of capital because they think that they need to own some convertible debentures. So they believe that it will be federally legal sooner versus later. So that's my personal thinking. That has no basis in anything else than my personal opinions.
I have another question from Tony. He was asking if Fireball is going to be receiving a royalty from you guys.
Yeah. So in our deal, depending on the products that they do receive a royalty on products sold.
Okay, great. Okay, I don't have any other questions right now. Anything else you want to leave with investors before we say goodbye? Because I know you're really busy.
Yeah, I appreciate that. First of all, I want to thank my investor group. You gave us support. We've been trading very well. There's been a lot of shares traded, and the capital that my investors invested, when we were a little bit down. So I thank you for supporting the stock. To the new investors, welcome to Pure. I think we have a lot of gas in the tank, and we have a great management team, Doug and Sandy and Andy, my head of sales. They're working diligently to make this a profitable company and continue to grow the business on all fronts. Michigan is a major milestone for us, and as it hits the U.S. market and the folks in the U.S. See that we're entering a extraction company from Canada that has the experience that we have, both from the legacy market and in the provinces that we're in. We're and then come September with the the cannabis wave that usually happens, I think we'll be materially higher than we are today.
That is fantastic. Thank you for your time today, Ben Nikolevsky, the CEO of Pure Extracts. Now remember, guys, Rich TV Live is strictly for information education purposes. Please do your due diligence, do your research before you invest in anything that we talk about or discuss here on Rich TV Live. I'm an investor just like you guys, and just like you guys, I'm always hunting profits. Ben has been nice enough to take his time today and tell us what's going on with the company and break the news here on our show. Thank you for joining us again, Ben. Always a pleasure. And anytime you have any big breaking news, we love to be one of those places where you can break it first.
We love Rich TV. We'll be back. Thanks for having me, Rich. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ben. Keep up the great work. Congratulations on all your milestones. And I know you guys are going to do your best to just continue to grind out more deals and more announcements and more big news. And we'll be here to tell the story.
I really appreciate the time.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, Ben. Okay, guys, if you like these videos, remember to smash the like button, comment down below, share the video everywhere, and subscribe if you're live. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, if you're not winning, you're not watching. We bring you the winners, and we bring them to you first. I think Pure Extracts is undervalued, underappreciated, underexposed. I think the upside is tremendous for this company. Thank you guys for watching. Have yourselves a nice day.